so let's begin. So first step, right after you wash your hair and condition, and before you do a thermal blow dry, you should always use like a heat protector or an anti-frizz, especially if your hair is wavy or curly and frizzy, which my hair is. So I'm using Outshine by Redken, and it's just a polishing milk, it says. And you don't need much, just a little more than a pea size, starting at the ends and working your way up. You don't want a lot of product at the root because that just kind of weighs down the hair. So start at the bottom where the ends are the most porous and need more protection, and then just work your way up. Okay. So now I'm just going to blow dry from pretty much from the root on down and just getting as much moisture as possible. So you want to get it about 90 to 95% dry before you start shaping and molding into the style and shape that you want for your blow dry. Okay, so I'm just going to start blow drying. Okay, so we've gotten most of the moisture out. As you can see, it still doesn't have a definite shape or style because all we did was just kind of blow out the water. So from here on out, you could either just use a flat iron and just smooth straighten your hair. Obviously what we are doing today is a voluminous, shiny blowout. So I'm adding a little bit more of the Redken Outshine to the ends because a lot of the product is lost or absorbed into the hair as we blow dry because the hair heats up and takes some of that. So before we do the second section, we add a little bit more. So as you saw, when blow drying to get even just the moisture out, even though you're not adding any shape or anything, you want to keep the nozzle always going down the hair shaft. You don't want to ever blow dry up because that's pretty much causing frizz. And no matter what you do after, with whether you're straightening with a flat iron or even with a round brush, you've already made the hair look so staticky that it's so much harder to get done. So yes, always remember to keep the nozzle down. So now for the second part of the blow dry, I'm going to attach the nozzle for a more precise airflow to the area where we want. It adds shine to the hair because there's so much concentrated air pulling the hair in that same direction. Okay, so for the next section, depending on how thick your hair is, the partings should be smaller for thicker hair. My hair is about, I would say, medium texture, so I want a pretty smooth, straight end result, so pretty much the bottom part I want pretty straight with kind of just a beveled, slightly rounded, curled in look. So what I'm going to be doing is pretty much just sectioning off this top part, which is the part we'll concentrate the most on, and this whole bottom section will be considered one section. Kind of pin that on the top of your head and separating it in the back just into two sections. And then we can start. So I'm going to start in the front, and you do obviously the same to the right side and to the back. Okay, so of course not a lot of attention is needed for the bottom section. Now the top section we are going to give a little more attention to. So the most important part is that this top section, you really, the root is more exposed and you see it, so you want it to be more perfect. So of course this, you're going to have hair over it, so pretty much from here down is more of what you see. So I'm going to show you pretty much the first step. The first section, I'm going to section about an inch wide parting and kind of just let that down and pin this back up. And I'll talk you through this, and then pretty much the rest of each section that you take will be obviously the same process. So, and it kind of separates from the already dried hair pretty easily, so it's easy to pick up that section again. So what you do is obviously comb it out so that you can get your brush through, obviously, when you're blow drying. So the secret to a good voluminous blowout is where you place the rounded brush in order to get that just that volume. So if I just kind of blow dry this down, it's going to stay. So technically we want this volume, or you would want the hair to lay about here. If I do that, it's still going to lay just really low, and it's not going to make much of a difference. So the whole point is to bring it, over-direct it, completely off from where it will be living or just laying. So completely away from it, you're going to point the nozzle towards that section and blow dry that so that that is pretty much as dry as it can be, and you're kind of giving it that backwards shape already. Then you are going to point the nozzle this way forward to comb the hair into a smooth sleek so that the shaft is sealed and light bounces off it and is shiny. But always keeping it away from where that section first starts, away, so that you're kind of creating an exaggerated curve so that when it does lay, it never wants to lay down too much because you've kind of trained it in the opposite direction. So I'm going to do this part and show you, and then just do the same thing obviously with the rest of the section. Okay, so to the ends, after we are done with our blowout, I'm going to use Redken's Tousle whip, and this is smells really nice. It's kind of like a cream wax, kind of like a much more runny than what would you call it, like a pomade or something. So I'm gonna get just very little amount, and it's almost like shimmery, so it kind of adds shine to the hair. So I'm just going to add it more to the ends. Okay, and there you have it. Just a simple at-home, easy blowout with added volume at the roots. And of course this can just be a basic like foundation to any other style. But I hope you enjoyed, hope it was simple enough, and hope you try it out. Alright, please subscribe. See ya.